What made us different in 2005 was our unselfishness. Everybody was willing to do whatever it took. We had about 4 games left, and we had to win all 4 just to get a chance to play in the playoffs, and we needed some people to lose.
And Bill Cowher says, if you want to be world champions, you have to win them all.
The bus waits, the bus drives, and the bus gets to the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Jerome Bettis!
As it turns out, we got to the playoffs. We were the last team in the playoffs.
Sent us up to Cincinnati, we're the 6th seed, knocked the Bengals out. Then we have to go to Indianapolis, knock the number 1 seed off with Peyton Manning. We did that. Then that takes us out to Denver. We go out there and beat them on the road.
Ben Bootlegs bends in for the touchdown, and it's on to Detroit for Super Bowl 40.
Our confidence was sky high heading into the Super Bowl 40 game.
I can tell you how I really feel. I mean, I don't have to hold no punches no more. So it is what it is. They're looking for a fight. I've been ready for the fight.
That was the only reason I came back another year, was for a chance to play in Detroit, my hometown.
He's going to throw it down the field. There's a man open. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! Hines Ward! The Pittsburgh Steelers did it the hard way.
We're taking Jerome home. That's what the chant was on the sideline. They took me home.
The greatest team I probably played against was, they got hot at the right time, was 2010 Packers.
We were kind of up and down. Aaron got hurt, he missed some time. And then late in the season, like, we had must-win games.
Goodness, what a performance.
We had to beat New York, then we had to beat Chicago in the finale.
They don't want us in the playoffs, baby.
They beat us in Week 17 to make the playoffs.
Touchdown!
But then we needed Philly to beat the Giants.
Miracle in the new Meadowlands, baby!
So, you know, things kind of worked out for the better for us. And we had a focused A-Rod. He seemed like he was at an all-time high.
So it is the Packers and Bears, the NFC Championship.
They were the 6th seed in the playoffs, and they came back and beat us in the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 45, the Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We had lost Charles Woodson earlier in the game, and he was one of the team leaders. And I just remember pulling Clay on the side and saying, everybody looks up to Wood as being a leader. He's gone. Nobody's standing up and rallying the troops. It is time.
Mendenhall, loss of football. Picked up by Bishop. Matthews with the biggest play of the game today.
He made a tremendous play, a game-altering play.
I read that. I knew that was coming.
And we ended up winning the game.
Right side of the end zone, wide open, touchdown! The Green Bay Packers are world champions!
It's the reason why you love the game. It's to win the Super Bowl. It's everything. We got to be considered a great team because we went and did it.
Best team? I'd say my last year, 2013.
A record-setting performance by Peyton Manning, his 51st touchdown pass.
When your leader's Peyton Manning, you already have a good shot of winning the game.
We know where we're going, right?
But he has so many weapons.
Demaryius Thomas again.
Manning and Decker for the 4th time. Wes Welker with a touchdown reception in 6 straight games.
Big plays, right? Big players make big plays, all right? Let's go. We got to
Good job.
I played with Peyton Manning, and he played and left, and you know, you appreciated him when he was there, but when he was gone, you know, then you really appreciate it.
He kind of set the bar and the standard.
Let's go. Let's burn them up, right? We got to put this game away.
And the collection of guys we had on defense, that's obviously why we got to the Super Bowl.
The Broncos have fallen to the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 48.
We didn't win it, but yeah, I'll go with that team.
Kansas City Chiefs, winner of the championship in the newer AFL against the Green Bay Packers.
That was a young Chiefs team still coming into its own, a reflection of their head coach, Hank Stram. You had the great Otis Taylor, the Heisman Trophy winner, Mike Garrett, diversified the running attack.
They like to feature the running attack, like Mike Garrett.
Future Hall of Famer Len Dawson had a terrific season. And so offensively, the Chiefs were really formidable.
We didn't know how big they were and how strong they were and how capable they were. And we found out in the first half.
We got to him a couple times.
And we got sobered up at halftime and got serious and got on about our business.
They hadn't quite reached the pinnacle yet.
What about it? We had some great football players. All we wanted to do is to get back.
Well, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so obviously I was a Buffalo Bills fan, and I was a season ticket holder, believe it or not. I remember my seat, section 23, row 13, seat 3 at Old War Memorial Stadium. The 1964 Buffalo Bills was an amazing group for me to watch as a young man. There were a lot of stars on that team. Cookie Gilchrist. Both quarterbacks, Jack Kemp and Darryl LaMonica, Albert Dubenion, George Sames, Jim Dunaway. So that 64 Bills team, it had great balance to it. You know, Lou Saban knew what he was doing. It was complementary football at its best.
Buffalo earned a convincing 20-7 victory over defending champion San Diego. The Bills capture the 1964 championship of the American Football League.
Anytime you win a championship, it means a lot to a team and particularly to a city.
The overjoyed fans storm onto the playing field.
The game was over. The Bills had won. We came up to Al B. Miller, and he gave me his chin strap. I know I have it somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. Probably stored away in some of my mom's boxes. But things like that were what made me love the game.
I think Purple People Eaters is probably the #1 nickname out of any team in any sport.
We, as a defensive line, were extraordinary.
Down he goes. Ball, Eller drops him down.
We had Garrett Lawson, of course, played next to me, and Alan Page played on the other side. Jim Marshall, the other end. We got the ball quite frequently and holding the team to a few points.
It was the era of the Purple People Eaters.
Marshall, Page, Larson, and Eller. When these Purple People Eaters unload, they unload.
Just struck fear in everybody's hearts, and if you got in a passing situation, you were in huge trouble.
I think the 69 Vikings deserve to be on that list. We are still the NFL champs because that was the last year that the American League and the National League were different. And so we won that game against the Browns in the NFL championship, so we are the NFL champs.
Bud Grant has led the Minnesota Vikings to the championship of the National Football League.
And it is time for the Super Bowl. Kansas City is the type of team, a physical team, a hitting team that Minnesota has had trouble with throughout the entire year.
It's not one of your most memorable moments today, I guess, Coach. What happened? You saw what happened. We played a fine football team.
I think that's probably #1 out of any team ever.